Hello valued viewers, I hope you're all doing very well. Today's viewer request is to take America's latest air-launched super long-range missile, the AIM-174B, and put it up against what could be in some ways considered its predecessor of 50 years, the AIM-54 Phoenix. We're going to run a basic air-to-air confrontation. The 174B will be carried by the Tomcat that never was, the ST-21 from the 1990s, while the AIM-54 Phoenix will be carried by the Tomcat that very much was, the F-14B. First, some basic numbers. The AIM-174B max range, well, no one knows yet, but most people estimate it between 200 and 300 miles in optimum configuration. We've modelled it at 200 plus miles, probably up to about 300 miles, and we're in the strange situation for the first time where the limiting factor is not the missile itself, it's the radar that will guide it. So basically the missile will go further than any of the radars that we have. The maximum speed of the missile in our configuration is between Mach 4 and Mach 6, depending on the speed of the firing aircraft. If it was stationary, it would reach Mach 4. If the firing aircraft fired at Mach 2, then the missile will peak at Mach 6, and so on. Probably the most important factor for today, data link mid-course update. Basically, can the missile be guided by off-board sensors like AWACS? Yes, it can, as a modern missile. Now on to the Phoenix. We're going to take what was considered the best version, the AIM-54C from 1977. The maximum range they achieved, according to Wiki, was 114 miles. Maximum speed, Mach 5. Very importantly, and controversially, data link mid-course update, no. Lots of you guys have told me that the Phoenix could in fact be guided by off-board sensors, which is a game changer. It means you don't have to rely on the radar of your firing aircraft, which is always limited for various reasons. However, I've investigated this myself. I've even spoken to a real-life Tomcat pilot and a real-life retired Tomcat Rio, and they both state that although the technology was available to upgrade the C version of the Phoenix to data link guidance, it never actually went into service. So officially the Phoenix was never off-board guidance capable. And almost certainly that is going to play a big factor in today. So, as for the situation, we're in Afghanistan here. We're over the kind of northeastern mountains is where I set bullseye. We have our two aircraft and they're starting from 210 nautical miles. That's about 250 statute miles away from each other. If we look at the ST-21 first of all, we've armed her up with two AIM-174Bs because that's all I can get her to carry. The missile is so large. I mean, let me just compare it with a Phoenix really quickly. Boof, that's a Phoenix there. That's a big stick there, nearly twice as long. Let me just put that back. The only stations I could get them on were these guys here, and sorry about the graphical error there, viewers. I can't quite get that pylon to link for some reason. Otherwise, she's armed with a couple of AIM-9X, because she's obviously a modern variant, and 4 AMRAAMs. I can't fit the big sticks on these pallets here. They're too long. They will be AIM-120D3. So range is about 110 miles there, over 200 miles there, and about 10 to 20 miles for the Sidewinder. In terms of our Tomcat B, she is equipped with, I wasn't really sure what loadout to put, so I put 4 on the pallets, 4 Phoenixes, the C Mark 60 variant, the best variant there was as far as I'm aware, 2 Sparrows, the best variant available, and 2 AIM-9M, the best available for the Tomcat. Now, importantly, the Phoenix will be guided by the radar of the aircraft here, the AWG-9 radar, which can see another Tomcat at about, I think it's about 80 miles. So the maximum you're ever going to see a Phoenix fired at is going to be about 80 miles in perfect parameters. The ST-21 will have an AESA radar with a range of about 100 miles. But the missile can be guided off-board, and so will be guided in by this guy here, an AWACS, which has a range against the Tomcat of about 300 miles. Bearing in mind it's 100 miles back, that means the maximum range of our missile in perfect parameters today will be about 200 miles. Again, I refer back to the beginning where I said the range limit of the missile is going to be the radar that can guide it. And that's it, viewers. Let's go straight in for a 1v1, and then we'll play around with some different configurations just for the fun. I mean, it's pretty obvious who's going to win this. A modern missile with a modern motor, modern avionics, modern design versus a 50-year-old missile. But that doesn't mean it's not interesting. Go! All right, ST-21 with her 2 massive SM6, 4 AMRAAMs, 2 Sidewinders. Note that her wings don't go back. It's a graphical glitch I just cannot seem to get rid of for the ST-21. It's a bit annoying, I know. The B variant very much has wings that go back. with her old but very, very cool Phoenix missiles, her Sparrows, and her Sidewinders. Again, I apologise for the wings not going back, viewers. Eventually we'll figure out how to do that missile now. Pause! Man, that looks good. Let's just have a look at the range that we achieved, because this is learning for me as well as anything else. So it achieved 185 nautical miles. That's 230 statute miles. I think that's the longest air-to-air shot we've ever done with this. Look at it go. Maximum speed you'll see today is Mark 6. It probably won't get up that fast. It probably was fired at about Mark 1.5. So she'll probably achieve about Mark 5.5. She's used her booster, which gets her up to 60,000 feet, and Mark 4 or 5 or whatever it was. And then she used her sustainer for 8 seconds, which got her up to 80,000 feet. And now she's slowing down for her mid-course phase. All guidance at the moment is, of course, done by this guy here. The F-14, the ST-21 could turn around and go home if it wants, and the missile would guide on, but the AI pilot isn't that smart. A lot of you have said, why don't you use humans to fire these weapons? Unfortunately, we've got to the point, viewers, where we've passed the limit of what human guys in DCS can do. We sort of can fire at 300 miles, but it won't work out like you like. So we've got to switch to AI if we're going to do stuff this crazy. Anyway. Wow, look at that loft. 121,000 feet. You can see the stats down at the bottom. So, look what it's having to do. Every time you fire one of these missiles, it'll do different things depending on what the hostile is doing, how fast the hostile is going, with the speed that the hostile is going. And so it's had to do something else. It's had to go loft extra high, probably to shorten its overall... parabola's not the right word, but it is arc that it's doing. So it needs to go higher, kind of like a bell, to shorten, because up here it's not powered, and it also has very little control. All it can do is very, very roughly control its overall arc, but only very roughly. In fact, it's descending now. Look at the angle it's pointing, and it's actually going down. That's probably because it's trying to slow itself down to re-enter the atmosphere, or... I don't really know. Pretend I know what I'm talking about. I don't really know. It's just doing what it has to do to get the kill. 100,000 feet. No Phoenix fired. Let's see the ranges. So from him to him is 140 miles. So we're still way out of range of what a Phoenix could do, let alone the AWG-9 radar getting a track on the ST-21. And the ST-21 is at a slight angle, so it's not even optimum parameters anymore. So the range would probably come down to about, I don't know, 60, 70 miles. Look how it drops down at that crazy angle of attack, trying to adjust where it's going to enter thick enough air pressure where it can start guiding itself again, which is probably about 60,000 feet, something like that. In terms of speed, it's 2,000. It's done most of its journey at 2,600 knots, which is, in my head, Mark 4. It's now down to 2,400 knots, Mark 3.5. And let's see, and it's been 3.5 minutes. The thing about super long-range missiles, viewers, is they're not cheating. They're, Mark 3, Mark 4 most of the time. And they take minutes, 5 minutes to get to the bad guy. There he is! At some point, he's going to spot. This is going to go active. It's gone active already. It means it's about 10 miles away. Turned its own big fat radar on. And that Tomcat never had a chance of getting a lock with his AWG-9 or firing. I should say, I've left all AI at veteran skill level, and I've asked them to fire at maximum range of their missile. Otherwise, I haven't changed them, and otherwise they're all set the same. Here comes the big stick. 2,000 knots, 1,900 knots, Mark 2.5 or Mark 2.7. Tomcat never had a chance. I mean, the Tomcat is debatably, ignoring stealth, probably the world's best aircraft for dodging missiles, kinematic evasion. But, nothing beats Mark 2.8 or whatever the hell that was. And he's fired another one just to make sure. Well, I mean, no big surprises there. Just for the fun, because I'm learning here as well, viewers. Let's do 4 Tomcats. So, veteran skill level, and all I've changed is set to maximum range launch for both aircraft, because we want to see the maximum range, obviously. Right, 4 versus 4. Obviously, the ST-21 is going to win. It's modern tech versus old tech, but just for fun. Oh, that's an amazing shot. 4 ST-21s with 8 big sticks. Kind of cool, right? If they had kept this in, if they had done the ST-21 rather than the Super Hornet, we could see these in the sky now with that big stick. Just imagine that, viewers. Doesn't it suit the plane well? 3 missiles out, 4 missiles out at a cost of $17.5 million. And that's a relatively conservative estimate. I put the price as the original cost of the SM-6. It's probably more like $6 million, to be honest, but, I don't know, obviously. Now the long wait, viewers. These are kind of cool. They're great technology testbed videos, viewers, but they're obviously kind of boring because they fire at, you know, 230 miles or whatever this is, and then nothing happens until something blows up. Then again, it's kind of realistic. This is what it would be like, viewers. I mean, the AWACS wouldn't be guiding it in real life. It would be the F-35, which is probably the next video I'm going to make closer in. But otherwise, this is kind of what we could expect to see in modern warfare. It's one of the reasons why this was created. Although, to be honest, you probably wouldn't be able to fire these at fighter targets, or you wouldn't be allowed to fire them at fighter targets. And that's what the AMRAM's for. They would be probably used for high-value targets like tankers, like AWACSs and stuff. But you never know. Maybe they'll be allowed. There's really nothing to do apart from to speed it forward. 2 minutes. 3 minutes. Let's have a look at the Legacy Tomcat, which is awesome and cool as well, obviously. In terms of the flight models of the aircraft, they're basically the same, but the ST-21's got slightly ramped up engines, and again, the problem with the wings not going back visually is a thing. But right, are we going to see any Phoenixes come off the rail? My prediction is probably not, but let's see. Missile is 80,000 feet, diving down. The dangerous thing about this, viewers, is there's no way of knowing it's coming until it turns its own seeker head on. Although I've just realised that's maybe not true, viewers, because the AWACS would be able to see this missile. It's a big, ugly missile, and AWACS could see this easily. So maybe the AWACS would be able to tell the Tomcats, hey, you've got some big sticks coming in, maybe go defensive now. So that's the thing. Again, AI is just not that smart. And, well, humans probably aren't that smart, to be honest. At least our humans. Okay, they're all gone defensive. Now, can we see a Tomcat dodging a big stick today? I would actually quite like that, viewers. If you didn't see the previous video we did on the big stick, it was this versus the equivalent Chinese missile, the PL-17. It was good fun. I mean, how realistic is it? We don't know. Obviously, this is all classified information. Anything classified like this is just guesswork. You know, we do the best we can, obviously. But, you know, when you've got NCIS knocking on your doorbell, it probably means you're in the right ballpark, I find. We're going to get a dodge! We're going to get Tomcat has dodged a bit. Or is it? Or is it? Or is it? Come on! Just too fast, heavy, and big, and annoying. All Tomcats down. Apologies, viewers. I guess it's not really a surprise to anyone, is it? Okay, we can see what's going on here, viewers, and we can see that the Tomcats are never going to get a shot. They're never getting within 100 miles, so they'll never even see these guys on their radar. So why don't we, in this case, just have some fun with it, and let's put loads of Tomcats in, because, you know, there won't be enough big sticks to go around. Let's try 12 Tomcats. No, let's start with 8, actually. 8 Tomcats, and let's see what happens. Alright. That never gets boring, viewers. Right, again, just speed it up. How many are going to come out? 8, probably. 8 missiles, 8 targets. Now, if we get 100% BK here, then I mean, it's a perfect parameter for an SM6. Fired long, goes really high, maintains a lot of potential energy, and it can just work its way down onto its target. Now, one thing I realised why this missile is in some ways better to the Chinese equivalent, the PL-17, was the mass. We've put the real masses, the weights of these missiles in them. For what we found is the heavier weight actually makes it do better in the terminal phase, where it, obviously when it's got gravity on its side, it burns off its speed better, if you know what I mean. Not sure why these guys are in this weird formation, but they're set to cap, so they should be working. Dumping their stuff, caught out, 1900 knots, not a chance in heck. There are absolutely ways to beat these viewers. As soon as... Miss! We got a miss! Tomcat dodged. Okay. As my baby would say. Another dot... No. Alright, as I said, you could absolutely defeat these. The only reason these SM6s are so effective, viewers, is because the AI is playing right into their hands. If we were humans and we could play, and we could go and play against them, I suppose, we'll just go low. If you go low, these have very limited effect. The ranges become much less. And as well as that, if you moved, if I pause there, the way these missiles work, and this works in DCS as well, by the way, viewers, is the mid-course is up so high, from here all the way to there. The mid-course, that takes 4 minutes, is so high, over 100,000 feet, the missile can't really maneuver. So all you've got to do is know that missile's been shot, which you can probably know if you're within 200 miles of the firing aircraft, and all you've got to do as a aggressor is go that way by 10 miles. And the missile will never get enough energy back to bend around and kill you. Or you could go low, or you could train mask. You do all these things that a clever human would do that AI doesn't, AI doesn't understand what a super long range missile is, so it will never do it. So you could absolutely beat these as a human. So I know these tech videos that I do show them as amazing and unbeatable, but as soon as I put a human in there, put Simba in there, put one of my boys in there, he would defeat these moderately easily. So that's something to think about, viewers. That is on the proviso that you know that they're coming. In real life, you don't know that they're coming, obviously. Well, although, as I said, the AWACS probably would see it. A whole series of missiles defeat. No, maybe not. Right, one guy. Now, can he get within Wes for his Phoenix? He's 90 miles, so he's going to start seeing the aggressors now. Now, can he get within range to actually fire it? I mean, that's a different matter altogether. That all depends on aspects, on speeds, on altitudes, and, well, oh dear. Well, here's your next problem. The AMRAAM here has a range of 110 miles in perfect parameters, and they were fired very fast and high, which is longer than the best case for the Phoenix, which is 90 miles based on the AWG-9 range. So, come on, fire a Phoenix, fire a Phoenix. I dare you. Let's just see one fired today. He's got good parameters there. Look, he's 50 miles, 60 miles away. He's fired a Phoenix! We've seen one go! Can it kill? Now, unfortunately, this guy's going to die now, viewers. Obviously. Because he's got... Ha! Right. There you go. I don't know what that was. A thing happened. He evaded well enough. They're turning round and going after him. Look at that. Well, we're seeing a whole bunch of firsts today, viewers. I can tell you that. The missile has officially turned round and gone after him. Now, can it catch him up? And what's the Phoenix doing? Look, they're all coming back towards him. Oh, no. I can only apologise. I kind of want him to live now. Bollocks. I mean, he was having an AMRAAM chase him straight down. What are you going to do? Now, unfortunately, as I said, viewers, the AIM-54 cannot be mid-course updated, so it's now just going to fly up to space. It's unguided now. Bye. On the plus side, look how high it got. It got nearly as high as the SM-6. You never know. You never know. Where's it gone? No, it's gone past, unfortunately. So, there you go. So, it's a very powerful missile. It's just the tech isn't on its side. That's the problem. Right. Well, we've had a first today, which is, at least we've had a Phoenix fired. Let's ramp it up again. I want some ST-21s killed today, viewers. I'm just copying and pasting, just to show you, again, set to veteran skill level, max range launch, otherwise left the same. ST-21, veteran skill level, max range launch, otherwise left the same. Let me just double check I did set them as cap. Yep, I did. Right, so have the ST-21s even got enough missiles to do this now? Well, not if they fire as inefficiently as they did there. Off you go. Speed it up. Alright. This is going to be a big 2,000 knots or 1,900 knot connection. I mean, look how high it's connecting with them. 30,000 feet. You just can't dodge anything up there. You can't even dodge an old 70s missile up at 30,000 feet, let alone a new one. Not going to happen, so this was like I was trying to outrun it. And as I said, kinematically, I'll put my money on the F-14 being one of the world's best at beating a missile, but still... You know, 1,700 knots, what are you going to do? This guy looks good, 1,700 knots. He's got it down low. When I say low, I mean 15,000 feet, but still he might do it. No, it's just retained its motor too well. What about him? It's too fast. It's too fast. It's still 16,000 feet. Finally. Oh dear, 8 down. No dodges. That's most unfortunate, viewers, but I guess that's modern tech. And here come the AMRAAM. Speed that up. Right, we should see some Phoenixes fired out of range of, wait, 70 nautical miles. That's how you use a Phoenix. Beautiful. Now they've got to stay alive, though. If the Tomcat dies, they go dumb. And there's your problem, because they're going to have AMRAAMs chasing them down soon. AMRAAM is at Mark 3, 120,000 feet. I think they're using them slightly out of parameters and they're going a bit dumb. I don't know, reasons. Some kind of reason. They have. This guy's literally just missed. Look at that. I've not seen this before. Something about Tomcat is upsetting it. That said, I don't think I've fired them from Tomcats before, so... And I didn't practice it, so we'll see. Anyway, what else is going on? Lots of missiles in the air. Imagine being this AWACS and suddenly... all these blue dots suddenly appear. Is anything going to connect? Yes, maybe they are. Bad performance from AMRAAM today, viewers. Brilliant performance from Big Stick. Another one. Another one. I take it back, they are connecting. 4 Tomcats left. More Phoenixes. AMRAAM's out. Now, are these ones still being guided? They are. We're going to see kills of ST-21. Now, this has a terrible... Well, it doesn't have a terrible seeker head, but it has a terrible seeker head in compared to a 2020's missile. I think this version actually had a digital seeker head. It's guiding. It's guiding, but they're going to be dead before the missile does anything of any use. Where is he? Where is he? Oh, ST-21 down! Phoenixes are now raining all kinds of hellfire down on them. Straight down on him. ST-21 down. And the other 2 are retreating. More AMRAAM's probably gone dumb or run out of whatever. Run out of battery, that one. Think of the size of the battery that must be on the 174 to last that long, to power that thing for so long. 900 knots. Is it going to catch him? It's probably not. 800 knots. Good old Tomcat. I think he's beaten it. He's definitely beaten it. Right, it's still all to play for, viewers. These are all guiding, but they just didn't have the legs of the Big Stick. And have been beaten. Come on, I want the 1-7. I want the older ones to win now. Right, 4 versus 2. Let's see what kind of missiles we've got. 1 AMRAAM, 2 Sidewinders. This guy, 1 AMRAAM, 2 Sidewinders. These guys, 1 Phoenix, 2 Sparrows. And he's just fired that Phoenix. Come on, the 1970s. Come on, the 1970s. I want to see how high this thing gets. Look at it. This big old rocket motor. 1,400 knots, 1,500 knots, 1,600 knots. Only 1,600 knots. Wasn't fired high enough. That's the problem. It spent all of its propellant trying to get through the high air pressure. It's not going anywhere, that one. AMRAAM's fired. These will off much higher, as you see. Already at 40,000 feet, 50,000 feet. Look, there's the Phoenix trail. Big old smoke motor on it. It's got a track. It's down to 1,000 knots, 900 knots. It's gonna kill. That one there. Oh, a guy just crashed into the ground. What a friggin' knobhead. Why did you do that? No, it's down to 500 knots. You could have beaten it. Why? Yes. All right, here we go. What's he got on him? No, he's got Sparrows. 2 versus 2, and both of these guys have used all their AMRAAMs up. This is 1 times exciting. The problem now is they've got AIM-9X, which is it's an unbeatable missile, pretty much, as you will know, especially from a plane so old. Tell me this isn't still guiding. Tell me it's not. No. It is guiding, but it's down to 400 knots, so I don't think it's a threat. Right, this could go any way, viewers. Okay, they're doing a classic ambush here. One distracts him, the other comes from the side. And this guy is tactically bad because he's just put himself God knows how far away. 30 miles away. Look, he's leading him, this guy, into that trap. Put your down wings back. Look, it's just sneaking right up on him. Oh, no, he isn't. No, he isn't. Now, the problem is it's an AIM-7, so it has to be guided all the way, and it's going to be beaten by the AIM-9X all day. Oh, come on, I really want that Sparrow to connect. Oh, God damn it. Look at that. Just wasn't meant to be, viewers. Just wasn't meant to be. Speed it up. They're going to hunt him down now. I mean, it shows an AIM-9X can be fired at 20 miles in perfect parameters. An AIM-7, about the same. 2 Phoenixes. Wasn't expecting that. All right, we have a fight. Phoenix fired at low altitude is useless. It doesn't have that twin-pulse motor to get it up, modern motor to get it up to the high altitude. So it's just, I mean, even an SM-6 fired at low altitude. Well, I'll take that back. It's actually quite still good. They've beaten it pretty easily. But at least he's put them on the run. And he's turned around. How about that? He could have followed him up and just killed him. AIM-7 Sparrow and an AIM-9X. Carbon copy of what we just saw. God, that's frustrating. It's just a better missile. Sparrows are terrible. Even the old ones are terrible missiles. I apologise for you. He survived it. He survived it. I don't apologise, viewers. Fight! You know when I said he survived it? It appears I lied. That was just a classic case where the planes themselves were the same, essentially, but the radars were better, the tech was better, the missiles were modern 2020s missiles. That's what you wanted, viewers. Take from that what you will. Modern tech is just much better than old tech. There's not really much to say, but otherwise I hope you enjoyed it, and bye-bye.